Hey everyone, welcome back to our IASN YouTube channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest tutorial. In today's video, we'll covering an exciting and important topics that is TypeScript. Let's see what is TypeScript. So what are the prerequisites for learning the TypeScript is first one is going to be JavaScript and second one is going to be HTML and CSS. Why JavaScript? Because TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript. So you having the solid understanding of JavaScript fundamentals is essential. And the next one is HTML and CSS. Since TypeScript is often used in a web development, having a basic understanding of HTML and CSS is necessary. Then we are going to see what is TypeScript. TypeScript is an open source programming language developed and maintained by Microsoft. It is a prerequisite programming languages when you're going to develop an Angular applications. And it is a superset of JavaScript, which means it extends JavaScript by adding new features that is a static typing and other tools for large scale application development. TypeScript compiles down to the plain JavaScript, make it compatible with any environment that supports JavaScript such as web browser. Then we are going to see why TypeScript. What are the advantages we are having on the TypeScript? The first one is going to be a static typing. What is static typing? TypeScript introduces static typing where the developers can explicitly declare the types of the variable and functions and objects. This helps catch the error during the development rather than at a runtime. This features is not exist on the JavaScript. So in JavaScript, while you are going to create an variable, we are not getting any type of error. Okay, so during the runtime only, we are going to get the error message. But here we are going to get the error message during the development. That is while you are going to key in, at the time itself, we are going to get the error message. And then second one is going to be a type annotations and inference. What is type annotations and inference? You can explicitly specify the types in the TypeScript, and the TypeScript can infer the types based on the assigned values. And then third one is going to be support for modern JavaScript. That is, TypeScript will support the modern JavaScript, that is ECMAScript 6. It having the features like classes, modules, async, and then add additional features like decorators, enums, and tuples. And next we are going to see TypeScript compiler. One of the advantages we are having the TypeScript is TypeScript compiler. What it is going to do? It's just going to convert your Java TypeScript programming languages into the JavaScript. So which can run in any environment where the JavaScript supported. Hope you understand the advantages and why we are using the TypeScript. And before we are going to move into the coding part, we need to create an infrastructure in our system. For that, first you need to install the Node.js. So by moving to this particular website, you can download the Node.js. It is a normal installation process only. And then second one is once you install the Node.js, you're going to install the TypeScript on your system. For that, you need to use this command npm install -g TypeScript. After you're going to trying to install this TypeScript, in case if you're going to get the error message like this, so you need to type this command in your PowerShell. You need to open the PowerShell in the administrative mode. After that, after you're going to give this command in the PowerShell, okay, you're not going to get this error message further. So you can install TypeScript normally. Once the TypeScript you install, then you can check which versions you are using by typing this command tsc-g-v. After installing the TypeScript on your system, you need to have the coding environment, right? Okay, so where you're going to code your TypeScript. For that, you need to move to this Visual Studio Code download section to download the Visual Studio Code. So now the next one, we are going to see how to save that TypeScript file. We are going to save the TypeScript file with the .ts extension. Once you save this file with the TS extension, we need to convert this TypeScript to the JavaScript so that it is going to be run it on our browser. For that, we need to use the command tsc filename.ts. What this command is going to do is going to convert your TypeScript file into this JavaScript file through TypeScript compiler. Now you see, we are going to see all the implementations of whatever we saw in the theoretical part. For that, I'm just going to open the Visual Studio Code, which I already installed on my system. Here, I'm just going to create a new folder. I'm just going to remove the existing folder. Okay, so first I'm going to create a new folder, demo II demo TypeScript. Okay, so I'm just going to create three files. One is index.html file. Another one is demo. Sorry, two files is more than enough, right? Okay, so ts.demo.ts file. Here, what I'm going to do, okay, so I'm going to create a variable. As I already told that it is type. While we are going to create a variable, at the time we are going to mention the data type. In case if if you're not going to mention the data type, it is going to take the data type as any data type. It is one of the main advantages we are having in the TypeScript. Okay, so here you see I'm just going to declare the variable normally like this. Okay, so here I'm just going to mention that data type. What is the syntax for creating the variables in the TypeScript? Okay, so first we need to give the which data, where or let. Okay, so where, that should be followed by first name. Okay, so colon. So which data type I'm going to use? Okay, so I'm going to mention string data type. So then I'm just going to mention, I'm just going to assign the values on here. Okay, so f name equal to Vinod Kumar Selvarsan. Okay, right. So this is a way how you're going to create a values variables in the TypeScript. Okay, so that is the other way. Okay, so here you see, I'm just going to declare one more variable. Okay, so that is L name. Okay, so here I'm not going to mention any variable, any data type on here. Okay, so I'm just going to mention the variable and I'm going to assign the values to it. Okay, so that is yes. Okay, so now what the TypeScript is going to do, okay, so it is going to take this variable as any data type. In case if you not assign any data type to this particular variable, means it automatically take it, this variable is going to accept any type of data. So it may accept the string, it may accept the numbers, it may accept the floating point variables. Okay, floating point values. Okay, right. So I'm just going to print this informations on this command prompt on the console window, so that I'm just going to use console.log. Okay, so here I'm just going to pass the variable name. Okay, so f name plus double quotes plus l name. Okay, right. So now you see I'm just going to run this code. Okay, so here I explain how to create a variable on the TypeScript. We are going to create the variable like this, where or let or cons, that should be followed by variable name, and that should be followed by data type. Okay, so here if you mention the data type explicitly, in case if you're going to try to assign any other values other than the string, okay, so what will be going to throw? It is going to throw an error message. Okay, so this is one of the main advantages. Okay, so here we are declaring this variable is going to accept only the string data type, but here we are trying to assign number values on the particular variable f name, so that here itself, while we are going to developing, at the time itself it is going to throw an error message. So but this is, we are externally mentioned, it is going to accept only the string. But here you see, we having the L name. Okay, so here what the data type? It is any data type. Okay, so that it can accept any values. Okay, so here I'm just going to assign any other than the string. Okay, so here you see what will be going to happen. It accepting it. Okay, so because it is any data type means it can accept any values. Okay, so now you see I'm just going to command this line. Okay, so now I'm going to run this program. So how to run this program? We are going to convert this file into TypeScript. Okay, so I'm just going to convert this. What is the command for running this TypeScript file? tsc, and then file name is demo.ts. Okay, so now you see after we typing this command, we will be find this relevant JavaScript file. This TypeScript file compiler will convert our code into the JavaScript file. Now, you see, in case if you want to see the output of this JavaScript file, we need to use the command which is node that should be followed by JavaScript file name demo.js. Here you see, we got the output. Okay, so we give the F name as Vinod Kumar Silverson and then last name is yes. Okay, so here we are concatenating it. Okay, so now hope you understand how to declare the variables on the TypeScript. So now I'm just going to give you uh, one more example based on that. Okay, so here in this TypeScript file, okay, so while we are going to create the variable, at the time we are going to assign the data type and then we can assign the values on here itself. Okay, so how it is means in the double quotes, I'm just going to give, so we know. Okay, so here I'm going to erase this. So this is the one, so this is another way. Okay, so here we are going to give the var and then that should be followed by variable name and then that should be followed by which data type this particular variable is going to hold, and then we are going to mention the values which we are going to assign to this particular variable. Okay, now we are going to run this program. So I'm just going to type this command tsc, that is demo.ts. I'm going to give demo.js file. Okay, now you see, so it's not get updated. Okay, so I need to remove this JS file first. So save this file and I'm going to rerun this tsc demo.ts and I'm going to run node.js. Now you see, we got the updated output. Okay, so first it is printing the f name, first name, and then that should be followed by printing the last name. Okay, so now we are going to see what are the different data types we are having on the TypeScript. So, okay, so here you see we having this. These are the data types which we are having on the TypeScript. The first one is going to be number, which is used to store the integer and floating point values. And then second one is going to be string, which is used to store the text. And then third one, we're having the Boolean data type. Okay, so which is going to store values either true or false. And then big int. Okay, so uh, in case if you want to store the larger numbers, okay, so then you go with the big int. Undefined. Okay, so that it represents the uninitialized values or variables. Okay, so for the null, it represents the intensely absence of any object values. So you can use the null values. Void, it doesn't return any values. So whatever the data types we are going to see on here, okay, so that we are going to see it on the implementation part. And the next one is going to be any data type. What is any data type? Which I already explained. It is a special type that allow any kind of values that can be stored on this particular variable. Now you see, we are moving to this implementation part. Okay, so here, what I'm going to do, okay, so I'm just going to create one simple HTML file. Okay, HTML file. Instead of seeing the values on the terminal, we are going to see it on the browser. Okay, so here, I'm just going to use a head tag. And then inside this head tag, I'm just going to use a title tag. Here, I'm just going to TypeScript. I'm just going to give TypeScript. Okay, so then that should be followed by body tag. Okay, so here I'm just going to call that script tag src equal to, that is a file name is going to be a demo.js. demo.js. Okay, done. Okay, so now you see I'm going to do the little changes on this file. That is, now we are going to see how to create and function in the TypeScript. Okay, so here you see we are going to see the different types of functions creations in the TypeScript. Okay, so for that I'm going to create a function keyword, and then that should be followed by functioning get data. As I already told that, so this TypeScript, it is going to, we are going to pass an argument. In case if you're going to pass an argument on the JavaScript, what you're going to do, you're just going to pass the variable name like this. But it is a TypeScript file, so we need to externally mention which data type it is going to accept. Okay, so it's, we are going to mention it externally. Okay, so otherwise it is going to take any data type. Okay, so I'm just going to mention externally which data type these two arguments should be. Okay, so it is not like JavaScript. Okay, so it is a TypeScript, we need to mention it. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to mention the data type. Is that it is going to return any data type. Okay, so this function is going to return any values, means we need to mention it externally over here. Okay, so here I'm just going to mention which data type it is going to return. Okay, so for that, here you need to give the colon, and then that should be followed by string data type. Okay, so here we are going to mention which data type this function is going to return. Okay, so here I'm just going to mention it is a string data type, but we are getting this error message. Why? Because okay, so we need to use the return statement, right? Okay, so return a. Okay, sorry, return a plus b. Okay, so that is the reason why we are getting this error message over here. Okay, so now we are going to call this particular method in the console log, and here we are going to use a console dot log message. Here inside this, I'm just going to call the method get data, and I'm going to pass the two argument, and I'm going to pass the two argument. First one is going to be a Vinod Kumar, and then second argument is going to be a Selvaras. Okay, done. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to I'm just going to type this tsc demo.ts, and then here you see now what we are going to do, we are going to run this html file. This html file is going to call this demo.js file. This demo.js file is going to print the going to call the console log. This console log is going to call this method, and it is going to pass this two argument, and it is going to return the values. Okay, so now you see I'm just going to call this particular file. Okay, so that is index.html file. For that, I'm moving to this d colon ISN. So we created in the demo TypeScript. Here we are having this file. Okay, so now we don't have any output. Now we are moving to this console window. Here you see we got the output Vinod Kumar Silverson. Okay, so now you see I'm going to change the TypeScript file. Okay, values, that is instead of Vinod Kumar, I'm just going to call Ashok Kumar cell version. Okay, so after I'm doing these changes, I'm going to compile this file. Before that, I'm just going to remove the TypeScript JavaScript file. Okay, so now we need to convert this TypeScript file to the JavaScript file. Now we got the output. Okay, so now I'm going to refresh this page. Now you see the values is get changed. Hope you understand how to create a variables and methods in JavaScript, TypeScript. Okay, so there is other way. There is other way of creating a functions in the TypeScript. Okay, so in case if you don't want to pass, that is, if you don't want to return any values, you can use the void data type. Okay, so here you can use, instead of string, you can use void data type. Okay, so why? Okay, so it doesn't need to, in case if you don't want to return any values, you can remove this, simply print some informations on the console log. In the console log, I'm just going to print some information. Hi all, welcome to TypeScript world. Right, I'm just going to uncomment this to line. Okay, so I can print this value a plus b. Okay, so here we are going to call this, instead of calling this console log, we are going to externally call this particular method, and we are going to pass the values. Okay, so here we are going to, what we return on here means we are going to return one method. I return one method. In that method name is get data. Here it is going to accept two arguments. One is a, another one is b. Okay, so a and b variable argument or a string data type. So it's going to return any values, means it is not going to return any values because we are using void data type. Okay, so this method is not going to return any values because we given the void data type on here. Okay, what we return inside means we are just printing the message that is, hi all, welcome to JavaScript world, and the values which we got from the get data, it is assigned to this particular variable. First argument will be assigned to the a, second argument will assign to the b. Here we are going to print the values a and b. Okay, so we are going to get the output as, hi all, welcome to TypeScript world, Ashok Kumar Selvarsan. Okay, so now I'm going to remove the JavaScript file, the previous JavaScript file. Okay, so now I'm going to execute this TypeScript command, compiler command. Okay, so now you see it is automatically generate the JavaScript file. Okay, now I'm going to check the output on the console log. Here you see we have got the output. Hi all, welcome to TypeScript Ashok Kumar, TypeScript world Ashok Kumar Selvarsan. Okay, got it. Okay, so this is the way how we are going to create a variables and functions in the TypeScript. Okay, so in the upcoming videos, we are going to see what are the different types of parameters we can able to pass it on the functions. Hope you like this video. So please share this video with your friends. And in case if you like this video, please give the comments on the comment section. Thank you. Don't forget to click the subscribe button. Thank you.